For sure.
I was talking to someone the other day. And I really think Balam is one of the few people where if I'm hitting my best, he can still shut me down. There's not a lot of people where even if I feel great and I'm seeing the ball well, he has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. See Madge, great lead off single.
Yeah.
Gonna be tough to get hit.
Gonna get on early there, and that's gonna be big for Seth because now we have the absolute gauntlet coming up. Seth opting for the 3 heavies in a row. PD, KB, Fire Bro, all back to back to back. So definitely this is the floor approach is how I approach, because everyone talks about whether you want to stack your heavies or whether you want to separate them. This is the lineup you go with when you want a high floor, because that was great strikeout to PD. It's the lineup you go with when you want a high floor because you can't really walk any of them until maybe you get to Fire Bro. And that one's gonna be knocked foul. But you're gonna get into spots where it might be high leverage situations, but because you have 3 heavies in a row, you get to try again, even if PD gets out, unless obviously there's 2 outs. So definitely gives you more chances at executing and bringing home those runs. But the drawback is you get less total opportunities to bring in multiple runs.
Exactly. And especially with Yoshi and Birdo out there, Seth is going to really have to make these count, because how many times are you going to have runners on? Even Madge Star against Yoshi Birdo is tough to land. The slaps are going to be tough to land against this defense. So you're going to have to make these opportunities count. But Mario up here.
And we're also seeing again, that's a puddle. We're also seeing the same thing we saw in the Toasty game. The Seth Toasty game, where Seth has Madge, KB, and Walu. So we have the 3K. And don't get me wrong, I think 3K has a lot of strengths. He's a great defender overall. But what he doesn't have that super jump, and he doesn't have that Madge height. Madge height is kind of a substitute for super jump, but he doesn't have that height, and against some of these LDSS hitters, you really want that height. So we might be seeing these corners abused a lot. Whereas for Seth is going to be targeting the corners. And
Seth
Balam
clearly, and would love to ask him about this, clearly views corners as more valuable than middle infielders. Would love to hear their thoughts, but that's what they've shown in the 2 games they've played so far on the stream, and worked out in the first one.
At the very least, Seth values Magikoopa over Birdo, which I think is a change from the past. I think in the past Seth has valued Birdo higher.
Was a big Birdo fan, but now opting for Madge.
And then also values Waluigi over Boo, which is interesting. I think it's more of just taking the defense away from Balam.
Right.
Because I don't think Seth wants to be pitching with Waluigi necessarily.
No.
I haven't seen them play much very often. That should be an out at first. Yes. Good awareness from Balam to chase that down instead of panicking with the manual tutor select. Balam's batting right now. Balam is the Birdo team.
Yes.
And we'll see if he uses start here. 2 outs. I would imagine you want to get a run on the board. Birdo Egg lands and it scores bones for sure. And that one, there's Madge.
Yep, that's a great play from Madge. Not just jumping with Madge, but actually getting that in jump to get that ball.
Because I thought that was getting passed.
Yeah,
that's a great input.
Yep, absolutely. Now we got that Fire Bro, and it's gonna be up, and that is going to be the Yoshi Park effect that I don't know who ended up selecting the stadium, but maybe that Balam was hoping for in Seth getting the second pick, because at Mario Stadium, that's probably a home run unless Luigi can maybe get there for the wall jump, but I don't think he does get there, and I think that would be a home run on Mario's.
And interesting also that looks like Seth probably chose second pick. I feel a lot of top players have been really feeling that first pick is stronger, but Seth is one of the few that's really, really dominant with 2-pick, and they've been using it well so far, but Dixie goes down on strikes. Star Chance goes Balam's way.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's still a 0-0 game, but Balam's put up... I didn't see the scoreboard, but I think Balam's put up more hits than Seth.
Balam had I think they have 1 each.
Okay, 1 each. So we're seeing the bottom of the lineups here. Not too much. This is kind of the spot on Bowser team you don't love to see. That's gonna be safe. Maybe if we got a quick pop up from Noki, it would have been there, but probably not either way. Yeah, that's kind of the Boo specialty, is getting that little curver around that side.
Here's Yoshi.
I thought you said
yeah.
I thought you said pervert for a second there, not some sort of weird mix
Hey,
of
Boo
words.
is a ghost, so. But yeah, this is the spot in Balam's lineup where if he can get these slap hitters rolling, it could be very, very dangerous. But he's got a lot of just generic slap hitters in a row,
Right?
And so we've got a high double play chance coming up, and
Like right there.
Oh, I hate
almost
to put
a
it into the
triple.
world.
We are now. That is the second commentator's curse of the stream. So if you're keeping score at home, what?
Oh, that's a great play from Madge. So Madge really proving the value there. I mean,
absolutely. And Seth's had some really good fielding to bail themselves out of these situations. But again, that's what I mean by we have a lot of generic slap hitters in a row. And even though they were well executed from Balam, they're outs just because that's how this game goes. And he doesn't have that. He doesn't have a lot of LDSS on his team. He doesn't have a lot of star hitters. He's got his Toadsworth at the very end of the lineup. He's got his Birdo and Bones at the very beginning of the lineup. So not much separation there to drive in runs.
Right. No threat at the back of the lineup. It's very top heavy for Balam. And if that doesn't work, you're going to be hard pressed to score runs. But Seth is really threatening now. This is the exact spot Seth dreamed of when they made this lineup, where now you star and you have 3 chances to hit a grand slam.
Yep, this is the exact thing that happened in the Toasty game that Seth just won. This is the exact start of the inning where I said Seth was about to score 6 runs in the inning, and then Seth scored 7. So we'll see if Madge can get on here, but if Madge gets on, this is real dangerous.
That's a big starter now, because now Mario, you have to pick if you're gonna use it. Still, I think Seth uses it here. No, Field Fly saves it for Mario.
Yeah, interesting not to wanting to go into the heavies with no outs. I would almost choose to use that star now when it's the big chance, especially since in these scenarios Mario is, multiple play prone. You can definitely abuse that fireball a bit, but we're gonna see PD go down on strikes, and Balam is on the verge of getting out of this pickle.
Yeah, now it's relying on King Boo. On a big stadium, you really got to get a hold of the ball here. And the line drive against this infield is not very likely to land. And that's if contact is made, and Balam gets out of it. Wow, that was amazing.
Great play from Balam. Yeah,
He's been doing a great job of getting Seth swinging on the outside, which is so hard to do.
Absolutely. And a little bit of a mistake from us. We actually have Mario separating King Boo and Firebro. That was what I missed on the lineup screen. It looks like it's the 3 heavies back to back, but Mario's separating them, so it is a little bit of min-maxing there. But the PDKB back to back is still one that's a bit debated. So we will get a leadoff Mario instead of a leadoff Firebro next innings, but that's not going to matter too much when we've got Balam potentially threatening some runs here with Bones up and a lot of stars to use.
Burn there. Great pitch from Seth. A lot of people love to throw that strike there, but Seth doesn't feel the need to.
Oh, yeah.
Strike. Seth wanted to throw ball 4, but will they do it here? They will not. They get the strikeout. That's great. Because now you feel really comfortable walking Bowser. Or pitching. Seth is pitching.
That one looked like it was rippable. Woo! Yeah. All right, we got to protect the plate now, Bowser. That's the biggest thing. See, on those, especially those 2-strike counts, you don't want to go hunting for those balls. You have to protect the plate. As Bowser, when that's gonna be caught. Yeah, that's a good catch.
Both players able to get out with great pitching. They both got out of their tough spots because of their pitching, and that's exactly what we expected.
Yep. 100%.
All so now we're gonna get one bad pitch from either side, and this is a blown open game. But they've both been really steady with their pitching, no obvious mistakes, and keeping ahead. Mario just gonna slap.
Yep. I'm a little surprised about not choosing to go for the star chance fireball. I mean, I guess Seth just doesn't want to be on 0 stars in worst case scenario. With a Noki on the team, with a Magic Koopa on the team, you really want to have stars with those characters to boost their average.
Single.
Off the end of the bat, so maybe it was a good thing that was a low traj, especially on Yoshi Park. But either way, it's down for a single. Still not starring here. Makes sense.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a no-star spot, just because it's pretty unlikely you're going to get back to PD this inning.
Now, I am very interested to know, because I was always under the impression that Seth liked to go righty-doki, for the pitcher-handedness. However, we see a lefty Boo on the mound, and Seth still goes righty Noki. Now, I assume that's just so that we can push runners from first to third. That's going to be my assumption. Or maybe that typically the first baseman is worse than the third baseman.
Right, or stretching,
but
making it so you're not always hitting at Yoshi would be my thought. Kind of stretching, but I mean, Birdo's still going to be great over there.
Right.
Maybe
Still
it's just comforting.
to see.
Agreed. Because obviously there's always going to be trade-offs in the righty-lefty thing, but great pitch from Seth. Gonna go back to it, but Blam able to react. Wario can't get there.
Jump.
Guys, to jump in here, if you look at the replay, if you watch to see, Birdo is in no way, shape, or form making contact with that ball, but still able to literally the last possible chance to get that egg off. What a beaut.
Yeah, sometimes on those moving back, because we can see Balam. Oh, what a great hit from Boo. That's going to push from third. But you can see on those. Yeah, you get that little bit extra when you're moving back in the box, and it looks really weird on screen. Sometimes you get the egg automatically appears on the bat, and it's just a weird interaction.
And I imagine we'll see a bunt here, but Waluigi, as the pitcher, can stop that a lot of times.
Yeah, this is a prime bunting opportunity, especially from
not gonna do it.
Yeah,
I mean, out at first. I mean, essentially works as a bunt.
Yep.
You get the run across.
Yeah, very interesting to see there. I think Petey's the. Oh, we're gonna try it. I was just about to say that steal is an option, but no. Even with the Waluigi pitcher, Seth gets a good input with Petey to catch that stealing Yoshi, and that is going to be essentially a double play to end the inning.
Right. I think that was a great decision from Blam. If Yoshi steals there, then all you need is a slap to score another run. So I think it was a smart play. Just Seth able to get the input from Petey there. You mess up by 2 frames and Yoshi's safe, right?
True. Yeah, really hard to steal on Petey. I typically don't go for it just because I don't like giving people free outs. Right. But it's the thought process is there, and it's definitely a high risk, high reward. But now we have the exact same situation as a couple innings ago. And
we'll see if they use it here. I would imagine they probably didn't like the outcome last time, but that's a great thing for Blam. Wow.
Yeah.
Had the read, able to get the reaction, just gets that swing. And people have been really aggressive to match. It's been like the new wave in a way. Doesn't drop it. Kept through. Wario's still safe.
Yeah, that would have been if Balam managed to pull off a drop there. That would have been pretty incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would have worked, but we're gonna see if Balam can get out of this situation again. Pitching to Petey and King Boo here.
Petey, and now making Seth earn it. You get that strike early, and you get to throw these balls, but Seth's not gonna take the bait.
Yep.
That's a great pitch. Stay disciplined. Seth, we'll see where they go. That's gonna be a jam. So Blam just throwing some very textbook pitches. He gets that one aggressive pitch early, see if he can get the swing, then throw the inside out and get the jam. Just nothing too crazy, but not giving Seth anything that they have the advantage on. But that one, it's gonna be down.
Yep, that time Seth just kind of had enough of the antics, sat on the outside, said if I get jammed up, I get jammed up. It's 2 outs, but Seth just wanted to get a hit there on the outside. Wanted to give a read there.
A chance to take the lead. Just got to make contact. Where it goes is where it goes, but got to give yourself the chance.
Ooh, Rio. Yeah, that's a great hit from Mario. That's exactly where you want to put it, And the thing is, you might even see, I'm not 100% certain, but you might see a Waluigi or a Magic Koopa catch that. And that's
we'll see what the Lamb decides to do here. Noki no stars up next.
Yeah, this feels like a pretty easy walk. Oh my lord! Oh wow!
Not the worst outcome for Blam, but
yeah, definitely could have been better. Could have A, gone for the walk. B, Daisy definitely could have made that catch. But just not quite. Didn't quite get the angle. And now we have the Noki up, no stars, but a hit will score a run.
Right. You got to end it here. You can't let Noki beat you. Got to make Seth earn this one. Inside, now it's right up the middle.
Wow.
Feels like a backbreaker. That's kind of
that's one you definitely hate to see if you're Balan, especially hitting into that double dino middle infield and Noki being able to get it through is just that's brutal for Balam. He's hitting the desk on that one because he really wanted that out. Because
Balam
doesn't only. Go ahead.
Oh, he's got very good composure is something I'll say about Balam for sure. He's not one who's going to let that get him. There's a lot of players, even top players, who that will really affect the rest of their game. Balam is not one of them.
You don't have to at me like that. You don't have to at me like
that. You get mad and play better. You get mad and score 13 in one inning.
There are situations. Great catch from Mario there to stop the leadoff single. And now we'll see Toadsworth try and get on to potentially get to the core of Balam's lineup here.
Yeah, Toadsworth gets a single here, and it is a big deal because that's a very high percentage chance to score at least one. You know, Toadsworth on and then Bones, but Seth not giving him anything to hit. That one,
you know, I am a bit surprised. Seth has been pitching very well with this Waluigi.
Yeah.
And thinking about Seth's kind of pitching style, I'm surprised they haven't broken out more in the past. I know Seth loves Dixie, and I know they love their sidearm just like I do. But you know, with their pitching style, and you know, just kind of like the subtle movements and very quick movements, and sometimes they're mixing very quick movements with wide sweeping pitches. You know, Walu loves to do that. Walu loves that kind of pitch.
Right, and I've always thought Seth was better with Dixie than Boo.
Yeah.
Which would make sense that they would be better with Waluigi. The slower pitches, they are great at confusing with them. They're great at making you hesitate. So I absolutely agree that Walu fits with Seth's pitching style. See, this is going to be another big spot. You know, you got those extra slap hits at the end. Not only did they score runs, but now you're going to face the core of the lineup again. Matt,
ooh, that's going to be a double play.
No, you are not. Double play. So now PDKB not going to have runners on.
Guys, can I break in with a game update here? Currently 10-2 in the top or in the bottom of the first in favor of Hells, but Caesarito threatening now as Bowser. If this is fair, it's gone. See you, ball.
Oh, wow. I did not expect Mario to get a wall jump input there. And I'm honestly a little surprised Mario didn't catch it. But nonetheless, Bowser is going to go yard there. Going to put another one on the board. Maybe a little bit of momentum for Balam, what he needs. Madge not going to make that catch.
Yeah. And I will say, Baltimore, great timing. Pops in right for the first home run of the game. Got to.
That's your typical Baltimore call right there.
You know, it's crazy here. This game's on Park, and there's 6 total runs. It's the top of the second, and it's a game on Garden. There are 13 total runs in that game over there. So the Garden fans are eating over there right now.
Yeah, Hells and C's. That's a Garden matchup waiting just you know in the books. Two of the biggest Garden lovers in the server. But we are going to see Balam get down to a 1-2 here. We are past the meat of the lineup. Birdo was out, and we're going to see if Boo can get a nice little hit. He does. Going to give an opportunity for Balam to put some more runs on the board here.
Yep, and even if you don't score here, you want to just get closer to getting Bowser next inning. Right? That's
absolutely.
What you're thinking. You want to get extra credit as to wrapping the lineup. Though, I was thinking just for a minute.
Oh, that's going to bring DK home.
Score. I thought about
absolutely
there, but you just slap and score a run, and now Balam keeping it close.
Yeah, that's a great hit
from
Yoshi.
Slaps, though. It's Luigi into Daisy. Could pull the trigger.
Would you star here?
See, righty Luigi though. You can't.
Right.
Oh, we are starring. That's going to be a double play, I think. No, not quite. Okay, almost.
Play. Yeah, that's not the outcome you wanted. Yeah, lefty I think is way better to start with, just because righties, you gotta pull it like way. But Daisy,
I think if there was spaces loaded there, I would highly consider the star at the very least. But 1 and 2, now you've just lost 2 stars and you didn't score. You know, that's a pretty common outcome for that. So that's pretty rough outcome there for Balam. Not what you
now
want to see
another huge moment. Balam needs these stars.
Absolutely, and he's pitching phenomenally.
Yeah, that's bold. Oh, just missed it. Just missed it. Seth probably smelling blood, though. Give him a second chance. Oh,
that's a great pitch. That's such a good pitch. So many people on that full count will just go for the jam and go for that.
Oh,
but, Balam did a good job mixing it up. That's what Balam did the last time PD was up to bat on the full count. Was went for that jam and it worked.
Oh,
that was a ball too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, absolutely, that was a ball.
Yeah, that was definitely a ball, but that curve in made it look just juicy enough.
Man,
Belong's cutting down the heavies, but
yep,
he's got to make some sort of offense happen.
That's no, that's gonna be safe by a mile. Wasn't quite expecting control of Yoshi there, just messed up the input a little bit, and now we're gonna see Fire Bro up, and we are pitching to Fire Bro. Dangerous! It is up. Luigi makes the catch.
Wow, and that's big momentum switch, and now Balam primed to take the lead.
If you feel like Luigi haters in shambles right now, by the way.
Oh yeah, if you feel like you have to score 3 here, it's a tough spot. But if you're like, hey, let's just get one run and tie it up, top of my lineup, see what we can do. You're feeling great, you're really confident, but that was not the outcome you wanted for that first batter. Because now if you don't get on with Bones and do you star here, he does, and it does not work out.
Brutal stuff there. We're probably going to see a walk to Bowser here. Oh, we're going to see at least a strike 1. Might see 4 balls in a row, but we're at least going to see strike 1. Oh, and we're swinging.
Can't be swinging at that one.
No, absolutely not. That's the one you don't want to swing at, especially on a star chance. You will take that walk any day. Well, I guess not, because you want to tie the game up, but you definitely don't want to swing at that one.
Right, and now you're also not guaranteed to see Bowser again if you're Belong.
Perfect boomerang throw bomb from Hells in the other game right now, clearing the castle walls, putting it in mercy territory in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, Hells is going through it with a vengeance through that loser's bracket right now.
Yeah, they're killing it.
Watch out.
Big star chance. Dixie hitting into Yoshi, but if you can get it more towards DK, then you're exploiting that weak corner. Great
Absolutely.
Pitch.
Just a little bit late from Seth there. Definitely going for the later swing with DK on the corner.
Right.
That's going to be
a big deal for the Lamb because you just want to, this inning, if you score, great. You just need to get hits. DK has to get on. You have to star. If it,
that's a great hit.
It's going to get through, and then Birdo star.
Yep, we got to get the star going here with Birdo. We got to get through some of these slap hitters.
This one has to land. You have to make contact.
We're getting aggressive here.
That's not having patience there. I mean, worth the risk to see if it's going to be the strike, but
right. Yeah, I don't mind the aggression. We're just pitching all balls right now. And that's the one, but it's going to land, and that's going to be huge for Balam. You're not, even though you burned 2 stars, that's not the worst outcome of that at-bat for you. You are very much happy to get Birdo on there. Ooh, we're seeing the Dixie come in.
Yeah, the closer.
Because of Win Dixie.
Absolutely.
But would be surprised to see a bunt here.
Ooh, well, I guess the double bunt, there's a potential. But that is going to land. Now, here's the thing though, it's a bases loaded. I do not like bunting with the bases loaded. However,
it's so much easier to get that home.
I absolutely would charge with Yoshi here. Oh no, and we might see it out at home. See, that is why you don't bunt with bases loaded, is because you don't get the benefit of the slow throws and you don't get the benefit of a good slide. And now we're going to charge, we're going to sour off, and we're going to try to go home, but we're not getting there, and we're not winning the body check. And that is a noble tiger from Balam in the bottom of the 8th to keep the lead for Seth.
Jeez, yeah, that is not the outcome you wanted there. Given a great chance, not able to capitalize. But
tap the sign. I'm tapping the sign.
It was a close one. But Seth does not want a 1-run lead going to the bottom of the 9th.
Absolutely.
They want to score here, and now the stars are all getting used. It's going to be huge. Walu's going to get to 3rd. Now Petey just gets the ball in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're in sack fly territory at the very least.
Let's see what Petey does. Oh, great pitch from Balam. He's been hitting that middle, and then goes outside. Changes up. Petey down 0-2. Balam keeping himself alive with his pitching. Gets the strikeout. Now King Boo up. Interesting to see what Seth will do here.
There is a part of me that considers a walk here. To at least
bases loaded for Mario, and then
bases loaded for Mario. Right. At the very least, I'm throwing. Oh, that's going to be center field, but that is going to be a very easy sack fly. Advancing all the runners, and Seth is going to take a 2-run lead. But yeah, Mario with bases loaded, very double play prone. We're at least throwing pitches that look real, and that's gonna be burned star. So now we got to do it the old-fashioned way with Mario.
Right. And this
trying to get him to bite. And it's
that
a
one's
great
gonna
hit.
land. And now Fire Bro's up. Seth making it that much harder for Balam in the bottom of the 9th. See what he decides to do. Balam, no fear. Pitching to Fire Bro. Had a couple line drives and that wall jumped home run. Couldn't quite get it over. That one's going to be sour, though. So now Balam,
and
3 runs, but you got to think, if he gets back to Bowser here, it'll probably be enough.
It's an interesting thing here because you gotta also look at the fact that Balam doesn't have any stars.
No stars.
Seth is using the last fielder swap here. I don't think it will really matter, but just to note, Seth will not be able to fielder swap guaranteed for the rest of the game because if Balam gets to 7 runs, he wins.
He's over. So yes, Slap's got to land, but if they do,
and yeah, we have no stars for Balam, so no LDSS. That is going to be a nice contact, but not going to get through.
You probably need 2 runners on for Bowser, because then if it's only 1 runner on, Seth can pitch, and then really you're gonna have to hit a home run with DK.
Yeah, that's the out right now is getting that DK home run. But no chem on Park, it is going to be very difficult. We're gonna have to get a very good lineup, and with the way Seth has been pitching, it'll be tough. Good eye to get to full count here though. Let's see if Balam can make contact. That's gonna be contact, and that's gonna be down.
All right. And if Bones gets on, it is a really tough spot for Seth, because if you pitch to Bowser, he can tie the game.
That's such a good pitch. That's such a gnarly pitch. That's a pitch that Seth has just been setting up all game.
Great patience from Balam, not getting anxious after the early strike.
Protecting inside. Let's see if Seth abuses that. Oh, that's going to be a strike.
And now
we can pitch to Bowser. No fear.
Yep.
Yeah,
right.
and Bowser's just not seeing it well. Yeah, we can't. That's just not tracking the ball super well with Bowser. Oh, it's gonna land.
Drive.
And we at least have a chance to tie the game.
Realistically, it has
wall
to be
jumper
perfect.
not in position.
Right.
And we're slapping. You know I'm not the biggest DK Charge fan, but this feels like the exact opportunity you have it for.
Yeah, well, I guess you feel if you could push, because you're not going to be able to push Bowser to 3rd, and there is the game. That's going to win it, advance to Grand Finals. Balam going to go to face, at least from what I was hearing earlier, likely Hells.
Hells has won. The matchup is indeed going to be Hells Hero. 13-3 over Caesarito.